Today we are looking at the Edubuntu. So here is the boot menu of Edubuntu 23.10 Mantech Manager. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. And I forgot to mention that I'm running it on a VMware, which is virtualization, with 4 GB of RAM, with i5 1240p CPU, and with 60 GB of hard disk. So this is a stable ISO release or a stable ISO file. Here you can see the Edubuntu logo loading. So here you have like a two options. One is to boot it in a live boot, and the other one is to install it on your hard disk. You will be getting an installer in the live boot also. So if you want to go with the live boot, you can just click on try Edubuntu, or you can just directly install here. So in my opinion, it's always a good option to go with the live boot first, and if you're satisfied without any bugs or crashes, anything like that, you can go with the installation after. So there is an application in the live boot also, you can install there by double clicking it. So first you need to choose the language. So there are plenty of languages available for the live boot. I am choosing the live boot. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So here we have the Ubuntu desktop, or the education Ubuntu. You can call it like that also. So let's first open the system monitor before setting the display, so that we can see how much of resources it consumes. Here is the system monitor. Let's launch the system monitor. So right now in the beginning of the video, or launching the Linux distro in the beginning. So here is all the process. When you start up, you will see all this process and resources. It's 1.5 GB in the starting, as you can see. You can change the color if you want. So CPU is almost under 20%. So let's run it until 1 minute and see the graph of the CPU, and also the maybe the increase in RAM. We get like 1.6 GB maybe. So this is a GNOME desktop environment, and the RAM is almost like a 1.5 GB. I'm using a 4 GB of RAM for my VMware, so it's almost a 1.5 GB. So as you can see, there is a bit of a stable graph in the CPU, like 30 to 40 seconds maybe here. There is a high peak in the beginning, so that's pretty common when you launch the system monitor. It's always the high peak or the high graph in the beginning. You should run like a minute and you should see the graph properly. If you see the stable graph, and that's good. So if you see like a high peak in the graph, so that's pretty much using a more CPU there. So it's almost 1.5 GB. Let's put it right side in the corner throughout the video, so you can see all the changes in the system resources. So let's first change the display settings. Mine is 1920 into 1080, so let's change it. You can even change the fractional scaling by clicking on it. You can change like a 125, 150, 175. You'll get like all these options. If you uncheck this, you'll just get 100 or 200%. So you can choose anything you want there if you want to change the display resolution. So let's check about. So here is the Edubuntu. Let me quickly change this to the corner. I'll put it in the corner. It's almost a 1.7 GB. There is 200 MB of a jump there. So operating system, it says as a Ubuntu 23.10, and this is my CPU, this is my memory and the hard disk. Let's click on system details. So this is a new option in the about section, because the GNOME 45 has this option. As you can see, the kernel is 6.5.0-9. This is the same kernel which is available in all the Ubuntu flavors and the Ubuntu. So you need to remember that also. And it's a 64-bit architecture. So let's close it. Let's open the internet browser, which is a Firefox web browser. And let me show you their official website and some of the release notes. Keep an eye on the CPU and RAM when I will be opening some of the apps. So you should get being the idea of how much of resources it consumes. And the version will be 118.1 for the Firefox because the all the browser has the same version. All the Ubuntu flavors has the same version. So it says as a 118.0.1 update. So let's type in something information like about support and hit enter. So here is some of the information. If you want to go through all this information, just pause the video and check it out. Or you can just change the playback speed in the YouTube settings to 0.25 and you can see everything. So this is some of the important information. If you want, you can read it or you can just skip this part. So let's go to their official website. It should be edubuntu.com. I'll show you that completely. I'm using a VPN, so that's the reason I'm choosing this search engine. My VPN will trigger the Google reCAPTCHA, so that's the reason I'm choosing this start page website or the start page search engine. You need to type in the Ubuntu as the search term. Click on enter in your search engine, whether it's a Google or DuckDuckGo, whatever the search engine is. So this is the URL or the official website, which is edubuntu.org, or you can directly type in the search bar, which will directly take you to their official website. So this is the official website. As you can see, it's almost 2.2 GB. Let me clear this so you can properly see. So just directly click on the download Edubuntu. Here is the version of 23.10 Mantic Miniature. You can directly click on download. Let's go to the release notes first. It will take you directly to the ubuntu.com for the disclosure website. So here is all things which are changed. What's new in compared to 23.04. So there are some new apps like this one. You can just go to their website or read by pausing the video. It's clearly up to you. So I'm just going to scroll it down. So I don't want to make the video lengthy, so that's the reason I'm just going to scroll it down like this. If you want, you can just pause the video and read it here, or you can directly go to their official website and read all the information. So here is all the new changes. As you can see, you can directly download from here or just go to their official website and download. Click on download. The file size is around like a 5.6 GB. That's a big file size, or the big ISO file size, you can call it. More than Ubuntu, I guess. The Ubuntu will be like a 3.5 GB, maybe 4 GB like that. Right now, Ubuntu 23.10 stable ISO file is not available. So that's the reason I am postponing the video. As soon as the ISO file is released of the Ubuntu, I will be making that video. So I made all the other flavors of Ubuntu 23.10. You can check that out in my previous videos. So let's close the download and also the browser. We don't need it. So let's open the terminal so we can get the some of the distro information. Let's launch the terminal. Let me make it bigger so you can properly see it. The mouse cursor is a bit of problem, but right now it's working properly. So let's check the about of the terminal. Version 3.49.92 for GNOME 45. It has a GNOME 45 desktop environment. So let's type in the command, which is inxi. Command not found. We need to install the command. Let's try to install it. Let's paste the command, hit enter. You need to type Y, which is yes. It will install in a few seconds. So let's wait for a few seconds and let's try to install INXI. Let me try to change the background so you can properly see. Let's go to colors. Let me change to the gnome light so you can properly see. So I'm going to type in INXI now. So here is the information kernel. I already showed that. INXI version, process running right now 290. This is my storage, which is 60 GB. This is my CPU. So let's type in another command, which is INXI dash small b and hit enter. So in the this is all the machine information or the machine information. It says as a VMware because I'm running it on a VMware, and the GNOME desktop environment version is 45.0 as you can see. Host it says as a Edubuntu, and it's a flavor of Ubuntu 23.10. So it says as a Ubuntu 23.10 Mantic monitor here in the distro, and this is my CPU information. So this is my display information, which is display X11. Server is XORG version 1.21.1.7 with the XVLAN version is 23.2.0, and this is my display resolution, which is 1920 into 1080 with the 60 Hertz, and OpenGL version is 4.3, and Mesa is 23.2.1. So already showed the hard disk, no need to show that. Available RAM is almost 3.78. Total is 4 GB, and used is almost like a 1.63 GB. As you can see, 1.7 GB in the CPU or the system monitor. So let's type in another command, which is INXI-G. Hit enter. Here is some of the information. If you want to read, you can read it by pausing the video. cat:/issue etc:/issue. We get the Ubuntu 23.10. So let's type in neofetch if it's available. Hit enter. Neofetch is not pre-installed, so we need to install it on our own. So let's paste the command and hit enter. You need to type in Y for yes. It's going to take like a maximum of 20 seconds or minimum like 10 to 5 seconds. That's it. So you should be having an neofetch installed. Let's wait for a few more seconds and it's done. Now let me type in neofetch and hit enter. Here is the information of the neofetch. The OS, host, kernel, uptime, packages, shell, resolution, desktop environment, mutter, all these things is here as you can see. Let's type in another command, which is INXI-SV8, which will give the complete distro information, like all the Bluetooth, all the vulnerabilities, all these things. So here is all the information. So you have the system information here, desktop, and the machine information, and here is the memory information, vulnerabilities, graphics, screens, monitors, all the information is here. You can just pause the video or you can slow down the video so to get all the information. Here is the audio information. The Pipewire version is here, which is a 0.3.79. All the audio information is here, so you can properly read it. Here is the network information. Here is the Bluetooth information. I don't have a Bluetooth right now. So if you have a Bluetooth, you will be getting the information of the Bluetooth here. Here is the partition, swap, unmounted, USB, sensors, repos, all the information are here. All the processors is here. So that's the information of the distro. Complete information is here. So let me type in htop. So we don't have the htop pre-installed, so we need to install the htop also. Let's copy the terminal or the command in the terminal. Hit enter. Again, it's going to take like a 5 to 10 seconds to install, and we should be having our htop. Here is the CPU, almost not a stable graph, but it's okay. So let's type in htop. Hit enter. Here is the htop for some of the viewers who want to see the htop also. So we got all the information in the terminal. So let's close the terminal. We don't need anything. So let's go to the installation now. Click on open. Here is the installer I already mentioned in the beginning. So you will be having installer right on the desktop in the live boot, or you can just directly click on the panel here. So you don't get the new installer as the Ubuntu 23.10. You get the same old installer as all the Ubuntu flavors. You just only get the new installer in the Ubuntu. So first you need to choose the language. If you already use Linux, or if you already know how to install the Linux distro, so you don't need to watch this part. You just skip the part. This is for the newcomers or the beginners for Linux distro. So first you need to choose the language. After choosing the language, click on continue. It's going to take a few seconds, like 10 seconds maybe. Keyboard layout, choose your language again for the keyboard. I'm choosing the English United States and the default one. You have like a Russian, Hawaiian, all the options also. After that, click on continue. Here are the updates and other softwares. It's always a good option to check this both the options. If you don't want, you can do that later also. If you already a pro user or a Linux distro, if you're running a Linux distro, you already know how to do this all the things. So I'm just going to check this button. Click on continue. It's going to take like a 30 to 40 seconds maximum, because it's going to prepare the Ubuntu drivers. So instead of waiting for this, let's check out the desktop features like date and time, and some of the notifications and power buttons. All the options are here. You can change the dark style here. So as you can see, this is the dark style. Let's change back to the white. Night light. So here are all the options. You can change the volume here. So the installation, let's go back to the installer. So here is the option to erase disk. You need to choose your hard disk or a virtual disk. You need to while choosing the installer. So this option will delete the current operating system or the current files which are available in that disk. If you are using a virtual disk, no need to worry. If you are using a main disk or a hard disk, you need to be careful while choosing this option, because it's going to delete everything. So be careful while choosing this option. So you don't get the ZFS here. You just get the both the use LVM with the new Ubuntu installation. So that's it. Let's close this. If you click the something else, it's like a dual options, dual operating system options, or the dual boot options. You can run like a create a partition, and you can choose the current operating system and the Edubuntu. You can both boot. You can have the option of like booting with the dual operating system. So that's the option here. I'm not going to install because I want to make another video. So that's the reason I'm not going to install. So let's close the installer here. Let's quit it. So let's check out some of the wallpapers of Ubuntu 23.10. Let's see whether we have like a new wallpapers or not, because Kubuntu didn't have a lot of wallpapers, Kubuntu 23.10, and Lubuntu has like a single wallpaper which is copied 3 times, so you don't get anything in the Ubuntu. Let's see whether we have like some wallpapers in the Edubuntu or not. So you don't get any new wallpapers in the Edubuntu also, just the basic or the old wallpapers in the previous version. So as you can see, I think this is a new wallpaper. Yes, we have like a three new wallpapers, like a one, two, three, as you can see. And here is the other one, fourth option, fifth one, six, seven, eight. I almost have like a eight wallpapers now. 9, 10. We have Mantic miniature wallpapers here. So sorry for that. I didn't see that. So let's see the wallpapers. So this one is the light one, and let's change the dark one. Here is the option. These are all new wallpapers, like almost 10 wallpapers. This one is pretty good. It is like I think Minecraft pixel wallpaper. So here is the other one. So let's choose this one. This looks pretty good and colorful. So these are all the same options which are available in the GNOME 45 desktop environment. So because this is a GNOME 45 desktop environment, you get all the same options. Appearance, let's choose the light version. Ubuntu desktop, like options for the dock customization here. You can customize all the options if you want. This is the notification. You can turn off the notifications if you want. Search, multitasking. You can even customize all these things. And the apps, privacy, connectivity, screen lock, location service. Always turn off location service and camera. Only turn on when you need it, because it's a good option to turn off when you don't need it. So online accounts you can create, or you can log into your online accounts. You already know that. So sharing, sound, you can customize all the sound options right here. Power, you can change it, power saver or balanced. Display, I already showed it. Mouse and touchpad, you can choose natural or traditional. You can choose the left or right, mouse acceleration, pointer speed. Keyboard, you can customize or you can add the shortcuts if you want. Printers, you can add the printers here. Removable media, color, region and language, accessibility, zoom. All this already you see this, you saw all these options in the GNOME 45 desktop environment. So I don't think I don't need to explain all these things. So user, you can add the user. This is a live user, so or the live boot. So if you install, you will be having your user account here. So default apps, you can change it whatever you want. If you want other browser to change, you can change it here. Image viewer, you have like a tons of apps. Date and time. So this is a educational Ubuntu distro, so that's the reason they have like a lot of apps for the students. So let's close it. Let's open like some of important apps, and whether let's see whether it crashes or not, or we have any lag or anything like that. So it's almost a 1.9 GB. So let me open like a 10 to 12 apps and see whether it crashes or we get any lag or anything in the distro. Let's open bunch of apps. So let's open like a random apps, like a videos, weather. Let's open GIMP and Inkscape. Let me open GIMP. Let's open Gparted. So these are all the available applications. I'm going to show that after all these applications. Let's open, I think, let's open text editor. Let's even open the extensions. What we have is like a map, so let's even open that. I think we are good, I guess. Let's open utilities. Do we have anything here? Let's open disk usage analyzer. Let's even open the image viewer. It is the image viewer. Let's go to the system monitor and see what's happening. So the memory is almost like a 3.3 GB of a 4 GB, and the CPU, as you can see. So still I think we are having apps opening in the background. So let's wait for a few seconds there. It's almost like a 3.6 GB, and the CPU is, as you can see, it's almost on the top. So there are all applications still opening in the background. So let's wait for a few more seconds, and you should be seeing a drop in the CPU graph because we opened all the apps at once. So that's the reason there is a high peak in the graph. So as soon all the apps are opened, it will be a bit of down in the CPU, and the RAM will stay like that because it's running on all the RAM. So these are all the applications running on RAM. So that's the reason the RAM will be like that, and CPU will be going down. As you can see, it's almost like under 50%. So we opened like maybe like 10 apps, I guess, maybe, or maybe more like 11 to 12 apps. I don't know. So these are all the apps. I think they are more than 10, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's more than 10, maybe 15. So this is the RAM and this is the CPU. Let's keep it aside. So we didn't see any crash or anything like that. It's a bit of a delay. That's pretty common because we opened all the apps instantly or at once. So that's the reason there was a bit of delay. But other than that, this show is handling pretty much good, I guess, in my opinion. If you have like a 4 GB of RAM, it's pretty much good to use this Linux distro. If you have like a low-end PC, I don't know whether it will run properly or not. You need to test it on your own. I don't recommend this for the low-end PCI maybe because the GNOME desktop environment will consume a bit of more resources than the XFCE and the LXQT, LXDE. So that's the reason. If you want to test it, you can just try it in a live boot, or you can try it in a low-end PC with which you don't use as a main PC or a work PC. You can test it by installing. So let's check the about all the applications and close all the applications. So GIMP is 2.10.34. Let's close this thing. Image viewer 45. Device or the disk usage analyzer 45 because all the applications will be 45.0 because the GNOME desktop environment is 45. So the maps should be also the same version. As you can see, let's close maps also. So these are all the extensions you can customize if you want. You can go to settings, Ubuntu tiling assistant. You can just go to click on settings, and you can all customize all these options by, as you can see here. I'm not going to go through all these things because it's going to make a lengthy video, maybe an hour. So that's the reason I'm just going to skip this thing. About extensions, let's close this. About text editor, same as the 45. Gparted will be different. So version is a 1.5.0, and Inkscape should be like a 1.1, I guess. New document. So let's check the version of Inkscape. Here is the version which is a 1.2.2. I think this is the latest version, I guess. About memory, here is the memory. Let's close the Inkscape. This is a video app. Firefox already showed, which is 118. I think we closed all the apps, I guess. Let's open check the file manager version. About files, 45.rc. So here are the customization if you want. Preference. You can even customize all the options here. Icon size, show hidden files, keyboard shortcuts, all this are already shown in the GNOME 45 desktop environment video, so no need to show that again. So here is the software manager. Let's check the about. It's 1.0.0-alpha, which is called App Center. Here are the updates. Just a few updates, maybe Snap Store, Firefox, and Snapd. If you want anything, you just type in here. For example, VLC. Here is the application. Here are the options. You can directly click on install. Here are the screenshots. Here is the description. You can share the link. You can go with the categories. So let's close this thing also. LibreOffice version. Let's check. It should be like a 7.6.2.1 as you can see. So I think we closed all the apps. So let's check the system resources now. The memory is almost like a 2 GB and CPU is below 30%. So the pre-installed applications, let's check the pre-installed applications and end the video. So we just have that one only left in the video. So in the art, you get all these applications and you have the clock. The version should be 45.0, convert all, Edubuntu info and admin, Endeavor, extension manager, extensions, games, brainy, compress, language and learning, language support, maps, mathematics, marble, music, office suite, open board, and these are some science apps, social sciences, and you get the utilities and some technology apps. These are all the pre-installed apps which comes with the Edubuntu 23.10, and even you have all the applications in older version also. So that's the end of the video, I guess. So this is the end of the distro, and at the end these are all the system resources consuming, and let's go to the process. These are all the processes running right now. So this is the system resource, so let's close it. Let's check out the logout screen. Let me log out. So if you want to check other videos of Ubuntu flavors, I already made in the previous video. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out in my channel. So this is the logout screen. You get the same, all the applications, all the features, accessibilities, all the same as the previous version. So there is nothing new here. So I think that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.